Hey folks, we are going to create a simple two-frame animation today in Photoshop, and it's going to be something like this, but with your own artwork. And we're going to make it into a GIF, and you're going to turn that into Canvas. So first thing you're going to do is make a new file. I've already created my first frame here. And let's talk about duplicating this and just how you would save yourself time. So instead of redrawing the entire face, I know that I'm just going to be changing the eye area. So I'm going to duplicate this and then just redraw the eyes. To do that, you want to click on your first layer, right click on it, there's a right side to the mouse, click on the right side of the mouse, and then choose duplicate layer. And I'm going to call this frame 2. By the way, this will just come up in the future, so I just want to tell you now. I'm going to duplicate this again, and let's say you had 2 layers that you wanted to flatten into one layer and put together into one layer. All you would need to do is hold Shift on your keyboard, select the layers that you want to merge together, right-click, and then choose Merge. So that just took those 2 layers and then flattened it into one, okay? And so yeah, now these are both the same right now, but for frame 2, I want to make the eyes look closed. And so I'm going to go over to this eyedropper tool to select the same color, okay? And then I'm going to just grab my brush tool here, and I'm going to paint over the eyes with green and just redraw them as a closed eye. By the way, at this point, if you wanted to see through to the layer below, I can adjust the opacity, and that will give me a guide to where I should put the closed eye. So I'm going to just use that. I'm making sure that frame 2 is selected. You have to be sure that the right layer that you want to draw on is selected. Okay, and so now I'm going to just get black here. All right, and then I'm going to make my brush a little smaller, and I'm just going to go like that. And then we'll give some little lashes too. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the opacity back up, and that will say that's good enough. Okay, so now if I turn the visibility off here, I can see I've got these 2 separate frames. Okay, let's turn them into an animation. So what you want to do is go up to Window, Timeline, and we're going to be creating a frame animation today. There's another option in here. If you see Create Video Timeline, you need to go to this little arrow and choose Create Frame Animation. That's what we're making today. So you need to actually click on that to initiate it. And right away, right now we have 1 frame here. So we need another one. And what this does, the idea here is it takes a look at your layers for each frame, and it's going to only show what you have visible. So here in frame 1, everything is visible, but I just want, in frame 1, I just want this to be visible. Frame 1 in the background layer. Now I'm going to make another frame by hitting this little plus button. And now I'm going to make just this top layer visible, and I'm turning off the visibility of this one. And so now I've got 2 frames. I've got this one and this one. And if you hit play, you can see that they're starting to animate. This is way too fast, so we need to slow this down. So I'm going to hit stop. Where it says 0 seconds here down at the bottom, change that to something like 0.5 or 0.2, just whatever you decide, but don't leave it at 0. It'll be way too fast. So that looks more like it. Looks good to me. And now I'm going to export this in a special way so that it's a GIF. If I save this right now, it will just be a Photoshop file. To turn it into a GIF, something that you could put online or text to someone, have it actually be animated, it needs to be a GIF file. And this is what you're going to turn into me. So go up here to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy, and it's going to show you a really zoomed out version of that. And you can play here if you want to see what it's going to look like. You could also preview it down there. The very important thing here is just make sure that it says GIF. If it says any of these other things, JPEG, PNG8, you don't want that. You just want to make sure that it says GIF up here. And then now we're going to save it. navigate to your desktop and your animation folder, and then by default, just leave it all of these settings the way that they are, and just hit save. Okay, and so now in your folder, you should have a GIF version of that file. The next thing you're going to do is go over to Canvas and turn in that file. And let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.